ours is a crazy place in oh so many ways. Let's try to make some sense of it on Spiritfolk Saturdays.
Welcome to the weekly feeling intent-based podcast, Spiritfolk Saturdays. Today we're here to talk about episode 95, part 9 of the Everything is on Fire arc. I'm your host, Elfie, Spirit of Excitement. Joining us this week are Thero.
Spirit of Stomach Aches.
And Raven.
Spirit of Tardiness. Okay, so starting with events, Marcus can now make a shadow sword. It's just really useless for the most part. It can only do one hit. So maybe he did get, like, partial memories from the Waterfall Warrior, though?
Maybe.
Or he's just picking up the anime from Jinkala, and that is really what a blade of his soul is. Really cool looking, but only good for one hit.
Yeah, you gotta wonder what the strength to durability ratio is there. Like, is it like, does it actually do much? Or is it just like, oh, well, that didn't do as much as I hoped, probably not going to do that again? Because a one-hit weapon is only really good if it's a good one-hit.
I mean, it's Marcus. He could do it just because it's cool.
Yeah, but like, you don't want to get into a position where you're going to get physically injured to look cool.
Have you met Marcus?
He should do it less often.
Yeah, Marcus would. This is the guy who's, like, pierced his, like, junk at least twice trying to jump on stuff.
That one time he tried to punch Colvin and Colvin broke his arm.
Yep.
Yeah.
We know the Zeth's name now.
Yeah, Narn.
Narn. Which people kept making, like, references to Chronicles of Narnia for some reason.
This is the shittiest lion I want to return. This is not a good talking companion. 0 out of 10 would not order again.
And we do have confirmation from Jay that Narn uses they pronouns.
That's cool.
Nice.
I kind of like that Boosty is becoming a thing.
Apparently.
I love that in-character Ash hates them, or at least would the way the group is doing them, and out-of-character Faust is an active advocate. By the way, I missed the Faust giggles this episode. It was saddening.
There were some.
There's also a plethora of people just being like, this episode is just Space Jam.
I actually, my notes is Space Jam, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, that's apparently what this episode was.
Yeah, here it is. It's Marcus is the future star of Space Jam Jinkala version.
Alright, and Narn did a kind of crazy, scary thing with giant wings of energy that turned into fireballs that turned into the weird golem thing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I'm going to say cool, but also extremely scary, I think. Like, imagining that. It's great when their puppet is on screen because they are just, like, notably taller than everyone else, and it's kind of cute.
Yeah, I did like the way that at the start it panned over and then panned up.
In general, I liked the way they were moving around the puppet things. Like, it's been a while since they were goofy with those, I think.
Yeah.
Also, the wiggly fish.
The swishy fish.
Like, in general, I feel like this was way more in the vein of the earlier fights and episodes. Like, it's kind of getting some of the old Spirit of TI back. It had gone in a different direction, and it seems like it's coming back to what it, used to do for things.
To their credit, most of the recent fights have been life or death scenarios, and this is like...
Oh my god, their first fight was a life or death scenario with a thing that tried to steal Gregor's guts. They still didn't take that seriously for the most part. You can't use something trying to take guts. That is definitely life or death. It murdered so many people.
Yeah. So, you mentioned the wiggly fish thing, or where it was. How deep is that water exactly? Because we've had people apparently wading across it, but like now Gregor's swimming in it.
I imagine like 2.5 feet. Like,
I'm thinking it was like 4 at least, because, I mean, somebody mentioned, oh, you're tall enough to have your head above water.
Oh yeah, that was for the Zeth.
Yeah, so it could be like 5 feet or like something, because Then Marcus could still have his head above water and wade through it.
There are waterfalls leaving off from that part of the thing, so it might have been a pond that they like renovated. So for all we know, the water actually like fluctuates in height. Like the edges of it are like 1 or 2 feet, and then the further in you go, the deeper it gets.
That could make sense.
And there's of course the I think this was a Gregor quote. I should have written it down, but just the line: "Sometimes you gotta kill crazy."
Yeah, that was Gregor. Because then he goes, speaking of which, and turns around. And looks at Zeth. Narn.
Now we have like a name, and it's gonna be so weird. It's like going from calling Blue Cloak to Aaron.
I keep forgetting her name.
I'm just gonna call her crazy. She'd cut Ash in half. She's crazy. Okay? She can earn a proper name when she stops cutting PCs in half. Or she does it in a way that's more amusing to me.
So why do we call Dunstan Dunstan by that logic? Or why do you call Dunstan Dunstan? Why do you
Oh my
not call
god, Dunstan is his own kind of crazy. That is a very different flavor of crazy.
Dunstan was reprogrammed. He's fine now.
Fine is relative. He's still Dunstan.
Yeah.
Dunstan is like high on LSD giggling crazy. She is somebody gave angel dust to the like psycho crazy.
And Narn used Stance of the Boundless Ocean.
And Gregor just swam away.
Gregor was also very offended.
Yeah, he called him out and was just making things up. You can't do that.
Those are so made up, Gregor. Don't bullshit.
The question I have is that there are the 3 parts of the rise for the 3 clans, right? There's the top of the rise, inside of the rise, and beneath the rise. But there were 4 clans, like 25 years ago. So where were the 4th? What, the rise not exist?
Was there really a 4th clan, or was it just Marcus bullshitting?
No, there was a 4th clan.
Alright, well then, maybe the sealed evil, whatever, sealed spirit is whatever was in charge of the 4th clan.
Well, it's the 4 clans were ruled by 4 Spiritfolk, and then they got taken over, and then the 4th one dissipated for whatever reason.
I think the 4th one was like a traveling one, or was outside of the bounds of Jinkala or something.
They all travelled.
Yeah, all of the clans travel.
So maybe they just mixed with the mid-level of the city.
Yeah, we're like, because there's 3 seals, and there's 3 clans, and there's 3 parts of the rise, and we know that the heart pillar is the bottom of the rise. I don't know, something.
So what the Narn was saying there was something off about Gregor's fighting style.
I think he was saying that his own attempts were off because he wasn't actually using a weapon, and he realized that Gregor was all based around the glaive. So his fighting styles didn't really work if you just did it minus the glaive.
Yeah, like, Gregor's original thing is a war blade, which is like, it's got blade in its name. Fighting without a weapon probably would not work quite as well, especially considering how much Gregor uses his.
It's like you can't use monk stances effectively with a polearm. You can't use polearm stances effectively with open hands.
Yeah.
And it was trying. And then it called its arm a sword, and Gregor was confused.
Anything else on the episode to talk about?
Anorian hoopball team. If it was the group and it's Kier, if it's Kier, Gregor, Marcus, and Ash, what's even team ups if it's 2-on-2?
Probably like Marcus and Gregor versus Ash and Kier.
Yeah. Who would you put your money on? I'd say Marcus and Gregor.
I'm gonna say Ash and Kier. I feel like they'd have better like ability to work together.
I mean, they would have superior boosties, but I think that Gregor's like fast movements and tininess and Marcus's height might be useful.
Yeah, that's assuming that hoopball is basically the equivalent of basketball, though.
I mean, it sounded a little lot weirder. It sounded like a mixture of basketball and volleyball.
It might be something like that with like a hint of like maybe not soccer, but kind of like the score hoops from Quidditch.
I want to see a game, man. I want to see a game of Honorian hoop ball now. Or is it just like Calvin Ball but in Honorant? Because that also sounds like its own kind of amazing.
Calvin Ball is great.
Yes, but Calvin Ball in Honorant. Elfie, stop and think about this.
I feel like Ash would play any sport like a hockey player, like shoulder checking people.
Oh my god, yes. Perfect.
And Kier is just a physical wall. Like, I feel like watching them play hockey, Ash and Kier would have the clear advantage. But I don't know about something that requires more speed, strength. Why doesn't Narn have weapons? Or does he, do they have weapons and they're not using them?
Dude,
Elfie
he slaughtered
has
so
a
many people
sword.
without weapons. I think his standard is not needing them.
He has a sword and it's his arm.
Well, like, it'd be, I don't want to say easier, but I mean, if you're going to adapt, like, if their powers work as it can be assumed they do, aligning with other people to kind of gain their prowess, it would possibly be a good idea to carry weapons because they might also use weapons.
But I mean, like, he took out pretty much all of the Honorian guard and just murdered them, everybody who was there at least. And, okay, so we don't know how tough the Waterfall Warrior really was. Alas, we never will. Moment of silence. But, anyway, we do know that he, like, didn't really have a hard time handling Gregor, even when Gregor had his glaive, and this guy was trying to do glaive fighting without a glaive. This guy versus Horvin, I think this guy's gonna win. Oh dang! I want to see this little psycho ninja take this guy on. I'd see it going the same as one fight where someone's flipping and jumping all around, and they're scoring a lot of hits, but then their larger opponent just manages to grab them by the face and slams them into the ground. Like, their mid-jump, person finally gets a hold on them, smashes them down. I feel like that is exactly how a fight with our little ninja and Narn would go. Like, lots of damage scored, and then blub, 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 unhappy, soggy ninja who hopefully someone would keep from being drowned.
I'm picturing Zelvetta on Gregor's shoulders, and the two of them trying to fight simultaneously. Or the other way. I don't think the other way around would work because I think Zelvetta would be too not strong enough.
Shit, that would actually be great, man.
I'm like picturing though, like Zelvetta does a thing where he jumps off Gregor's head and like goes at Narn with like his blades, and then Gregor goes at him with his blade, and then like ends up on the other side, and then Zelvetta lands back on his head, and it's this weird like leapfrog thing, and it's really adorable. Or if Zelvetta wouldn't show up, is just Gregor on Kier's shoulders, and they just charge at people.
Those guys would totally win chicken.
I can see
Shit, I
Marcus,
want to see the group playing pool games now.
I can see Marcus slyly eye-beaming someone.
Marcus, that's like a lethal move.
I'm picturing like, well, didn't Jackson tweet something about a beach episode?
Yeah.
I mean, like most of the world that we've seen has a beach or is by the ocean.
If we ever get that beach episode, I think we all know exactly what we are most looking forward to. Well, the few things. We're looking forward to 3 people in swimsuits. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Marcus, you're not one.
The closest we've come to a beach episode was the one where they all died on the beach.
Yeah, that wasn't really in the spirit of a beach episode.
I think it was.
I think the spirit of a beach episode involves fun in the sun and possibly a giant ocean monster that is about as goofy a threat as can be possible, and a lot of swimsuits. So I do not think death on the beach was the spirit of a. Oh god, I just got the pun. Damn
Yeah!
it. Son of a bitch.
I didn't even say it, but I realized it.
I've got my head in my hands right now. Why? Shit, how did I miss that?
I want to see Chara at the beach. Just sits there, watches everybody.
Tries to join in the water games. It ends horribly.
I like the idea of just Charoth like sitting in like the tides as they come up, and everyone just like, is he gonna be okay? And Charoth just looks at them. Like everyone's kind of scared, but not quite like scared enough to do anything about it.
Imagine like all everybody on the Shrouded Isle or on the everybody from the Shrouded Isles being like getting together for this big, beach party, or at least all the people who are really involved in the community, especially the spirit folk. Having them all there, like doing the grilling, the beach games, both volleyball on the beach or whatever they play on the beach, Anorian hoop ball, free isle or Anorian hoop ball, Shrouded Isle rules, or whatever, and doing the water games, and it's all going fantastically. It's cute, everyone's laughing, there's splashing going on, and then Charoth decides that it looks really fun, and he wants to join in the water games, and the next thing they know, he's winning via tidal waves and being a giant shrimp. And he looks so happy, but it's so terrifying.
I'm getting the mental image of Marcus surfing on Charoth's back, and I think that's a pretty great mental image.
I think that's perfect, yeah.
I also feel like Gregor, if they had pool noodles, Gregor would attack people with a pool noodle, wielding it like a glaive.
Yes.
And, Marcus would, like, Eldritch blast the water to watch as it explodes in people's faces.
Shit, he would. Kier would create the superior pool noodle.
He would also create the superior water gun, even though he doesn't know what a gun is.
And he must never find out.
I'm also picturing Ash accidentally electrocuting himself. Poor Ash.
Thog, it's the one time he doesn't take his shirt off. He does the, like, t-shirt and, swim trunks thing. Like, of all the fucking times he won't take his shirt off, it's this one. I'm the only one seeing that.
No, I'm picturing him in the Hawaiian shirt again.
Oh shit, you're right, that would be better. In that case, he would have to have it unbuttoned, just like doing the wear it like a jacket thing for the
and
beach.
it's like an open bar, like by the surf, like a little portable open bar, and he's making a fortune. I remember what I was gonna say that I was laughing at with the beach party thing is that they have a grill, and then my favorite thing of don't liking like hot dogs but not knowing what they're made of.
Oh, you warped thing, you. I love it.
And just no one having the heart to tell her.
Or no, worse, they all think she doesn't. And then it turns out at the end, she knows what's in them.
I'm just like, why are they called hot dogs anyway? And she goes, I don't know, they've got pig in them, don't they? And everyone just looks at her. And she's just like, I'm a pig bat. Any headcanons or AUs or theories or anything?
If the group were all mer creatures, what sea creature life would their bottom half be? There, AU.
Marcus is something shiny and or rainbow colored.
Wait, what about being an octopus, though, dude? He's got the inky thing, and also they can change color.
I don't know enough about fish to contribute.
He could be the mimic octopus.
Blue-ringed octopus, but minus any of the venom.
Mm.
Ash would, of course, be a form of electric fish. So she's like a really low-level daredevil in the ocean. Except she can also see, so it's a questionable usefulness.
So what do people think is going to happen next episode?
Ash and Horvin. And blood. And fire.
The waters will run thick with blood. And then light on fire, because that is how blood works, I guess.
And the waters and rivers of Egypt of Honorant will run red with blood.
I wonder if Marcus's blood is flammable.
Who knows, but it's probably poisonous. Wait, guys, we're making a mistake. And the waters will run red with imps. Many imps fell that day. Many good imps. Quite a few crappy imps, too. But we don't talk ill of the dead like that.
I have an idea for a name of a new imp, and I'm like kind of sad when I named my first one, and it's like, man, I have another idea, and it's just as good, if not better.
What's your new idea?
Imperator Sassafras.
Didn't you already name the other one something sassafras?
No, the other one was Spunky.
I like my
Aw.
God 100% one. Even better, it survived, so it might come back. Who knows?
I am guessing that mine will survive, but only because it's boring and it will probably not get more than 2 seconds screen time. On the one hand, I will be happy. On the other hand, yeah, I'll mostly just be happy that it survives.
Oh, we should theorize. I want to theorize about something, but I don't think there are any theories. Where are the clan leaders?
They're still in stupid little.
I don't
Cattle
think
town.
they would be in
They
Yoko.
they are. They were there when the group left.
Yeah, but it's been time since then.
It's only been like a day or two, really. Actually,
Yeah, and why would
Less.
they're basically the leaders of the city? Why would they just stay in Hyocho?
Because obviously that's where the main storyline is, as far as they know. And in the land of anime, they must be where the main storyline is.
yeah.
And why don't they have superpowers to be able to be where the main storyline is?
Because they're not main characters. Goof.
They're also, but they are extreme. Like I'm half expecting them to just like appear and do something terrible.
Elfie, they have to wait till everything looks like either everything's hopeless and they come in as the cavalry, only in a horrifying twist to be quickly beaten down, or they have to come in when everything's finally fine without their influence and then make it all bad again. There's rules to these things.
You got to admit they'd make a pretty good team of like a trio of fighters because you've got Dao with his enormous melee weapon. You've
You've got Dow for raw damage and tanking. You've got DPS Zeke, and you've got whatever the fuck Kirlos does, shooting
Kirlos
shit.
has a giant crossbow.
I think it's called ranged, but it could just be blunt weapon damage.
Also, shanky sticks.
I like to imagine that Kirlos has his crossbow out and like it just sneaks up on whatever he's fighting and just bashes it in the head with the crossbow.
I would believe it. But he
Yeah.
was pretty damn accurate with those bolts whenever he was aiming for shit, I'm blanking on his name. I almost called him Zevran.
Salvetta
That one.
or Zalvetica. If you're
Whatever,
here.
they're both tiny assassins that are sassy and blonde.
I'm trying to think about like what their fighting would be like. I'm very curious what's going to happen next.
Shit, now I've got a mental image of them like in one of those dramatic like 3-person posing things, especially like the magical girl type one.
I'm picturing them akin to like Totally Spies or Charlie's Angels.
Yes, that sort of thing. Somebody needs to draw this.
I have positions like that.
Come on, man, do it. Do Jin's Angels. I like the idea of Jin's Angels. I don't like the idea of Jin's Angels more than mushroom pizza.
I don't think Jin's Angels would make sense because I don't think Jin exactly has the best opinion of. I'm picturing like Orvin's Angels or something hilarious like that.
Oh, but no, Horvin has to be like that one person who's their main like opponent. They work on the same side a lot, but they're obviously antagonistic. Especially because Horvin has like a dark and like conflicted past with one of the angels. Looking at you, Zeke. I still like sometimes wonder if Zeke secretly has also been working on the side of the spirits this whole time. Just he's a much subtler double agent. But then I'm like, what am I talking about? This is the motherfucking Bowel Ripper. He doesn't know subtlety.
Yeah.
But if he did, it would be such a great shock. Like even expecting it, I would still be like, holy shit, I didn't really see it coming.
The biggest shock would be if it was Kirlos.
Fuck, man. No one would be ready.
I feel like it would be reasonable for Dao. Like, you'd be surprised, but not as surprised as you expected.
Yeah.
Like, he's quiet enough that I think he'd be holding a lot of secrets.
Yeah.
He was also leader of the Gold Clan back when, like, the thing from Zeke's backstory happened. Who knows? If you'd like to listen to more episodes of the podcast, you can find us at spiritfolksaturdays.tumblr.com. If you want to join the TI Skype chat, feel free to shoot and ask. If you want to join the TI Skype chat, feel free to shoot us and ask with your Skype name. We'd be happy to have you. Thanks for listening. We'll see everybody next week. Bye.
Bye.